with your host, Vocab Malone.
Oh, yeah. What's up, y'all? This is Backpack Radio. You know who it is. It is Vocab Malone. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys tonight. Sorry. And I'm not solo. I got someone with me in the studio, as y'all can tell. My man, Rob Reborn is in the house tonight. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. We're going to be talking about going from gangs to Bible college, from jail to theology, from Crips to Calvinism. Y'all think I'm joking. Look, we had another show scheduled. We had to reschedule it, so it's going to be going down Saturday instead. Oh, I'm supposed to be looking right there, remember? I told you that. We've been looking at the wrong camera. Yeah, but we're going to have fun tonight. You know what? Let me move. Oh. Remember I told you that microphone was going to come unplugged? Anyways, guys, we got a lot going on. We're happy to be here. Now let me switch over, and I'm very excited about today's show because you're going to hear a unique story, a unique tale. And my man Rob Reborn is someone I've known for a minute. He's a Christian MC. And give me a second, guys. The microphone is getting readjusted. It's playing games on me. So you have to give me a second. So sound exactly how it's supposed to right now. There, it should be good now. So listen, while we're getting rolling here, grab this link, share it. Today is Thursday, November 29th, 2018. It's a little bit after 8 o'clock here in Phoenix, 7 o'clock out there on the West Coast, and we know for you East Coasters it's 10 o'clock. To the people in the rest of the world, I forget what time it is there. We got some Australian folks, we got New Zealand folks here. So let me give a shout out to the live chat real quick. What's up, Rox B? What's up, Michelle Marie? What's up, General Thought Patrol?
Whoa.
That's an interesting name. Oh, you're a Black Swordsman as well? Okay. What's up, D-New? Good to see you. Oh, Miss Piggy, 3:37 a.m. Did you wake up for this? What's wrong with you, girl? Just kidding. Hey, Elizabeth, how you doing? And who else we got up in here? There's another name I saw. I don't want to miss you, but if I miss you, forgive me. Oh, Kathy, be good. Hey. All right, this is going to be an exciting show. We got Bento Fernandez from India? They got Fernandez in India? All right. Well, you're right, Rox B. This chat does have the best regulars. Look at that. That comment deserves to be put on the screen. That's exactly right. Hey, what's up, Martin Bell? And, it's 3:01 a.m. in the UK. You should not be sleeping. Who needs sleep? It's overrated. You sleep when you're dead. That's right. Get that popcorn, Martin. And, someone else is up in here. Hey, you mind if I put my foot in your chair? Oh, Nate Lawrence from Oregon, Jinru, Taipei. Where is Taipei? 11:04 a.m. Taipei. Where is that, Jinru? Tell me. Okay, anyways, y'all know who I am, hopefully. Please subscribe to this channel. Please hit the like button. Please grab this link and share it. And please listen to his music on SoundCloud. Did you guys know he's a Christian rapper as well? We're not just going to talk about how God brought him out of gangs and all the way to Bible college.
What?
We're also going to show you some of his music. So, Rob, we got to time this, bro, because, can only do 20 seconds. So, guys, do you want to hear 20-second snippet of one of his songs? Oh, you do? Okay, here it goes. Okay. This is called I'm Living Now, featuring Aaron Mahrez. It's pretty nice. Well, that's as much of a snippet as I can play. So here's what I'm going to do, y'all. I'll play another snippet later on, okay, in the show. And look what Rox B is saying. You see that comment on the screen right there?
Oh.
Hey, if you 50 in the super chat, 100 viewers, and he doesn't freestyle, but he will spit a verse. Yeah. All right, so, Taiwan, okay. We got someone from Taiwan, bro. Much pressure. But everyone, go to SoundCloud right now. I know it's not a YouTube channel, but I want to get him up. Right now you have, How many people follow you? You can't see, can you?
idea.
108. Let's get him way up. So he's at 108 followers right now. I'm going to put the link up here. It says Rob Reborn. And once you hear him and get to know him, you'll want to. In case you guys are wondering why I'm stalling just a little bit here in the beginning, it's because he's very nervous. And so I'm trying to let him like calm down, slow down his breathing. You need another drink?
That's what it is.
K-Dub's in the house. You got a fellow rapper now, fellow reformed rapper.
Ooh, nice.
Checking you out. Okay. All right. LOL, such a snip bird from the word. I don't know necessarily what you're saying. But all right. Let's do this, y'all. Okay. Hey, yo, Rob, I'm going to kind of slide the microphone over here, and I'm just going to speak a little bit louder. So I'm going to be loud, but it's all you right now. Can you guys hear Rob? Rob, say what's up to the people.
Mic check 1 2. No, what's up, y'all? This is Rob Reborn here with my brother Vocab. Super excited, super nervous. Never done nothing like this. Little chat. So, but I'm excited. I'm ready to see what's gonna happen.
All right, man. So let's get right into it. 43rd Avenue in Thomas. There's a Crip set over there. So you got involved with the Crip gang, Rock and Blue. What happened?
Man, well, just growing up, definitely came from like a impoverished, dysfunctional type of home. Drug addicts, alcoholics, things like that. Not really getting love at home, so did what most people normally do, look for that love elsewhere. Given, where I was at, like I was in that neighborhood on 43rd and Thomas, and just outside, that's pretty much all there is. It's just a bunch of Crips running around, bunch of drug dealers, and I seen like the type of affection that they had, within the gang, and that was appealing to me. I'm like, man, yeah, let me go check this out. Like, I'm not getting this at home, so why not get it from here? And got into it, had a couple of friends that was already involved in it, and just by knowing them and seeing like the type of life that they had, it seemed appealing to me. Always drinking, always partying, always doing something, and then coming from where I came from, I'm like, I'm not doing anything, a little broke kid at home, so when I started kicking it with them, started hanging out, and it was just like, yo, this is like my family, so let me go ahead and rock with them. So
your background, you're Chicano, and most of Phoenix is just filled, lots of Chicanos. So, some folks are cholos and essays, and I don't mean long written works by essay, right? But ironically, you had a unique situation, and most of the folks in your gang actually weren't Hispanic. It was a black gang.
Yeah.
So what was your nickname, bro? What do they call you?
So growing up, they used to call me Ape Loke because they used to say I look like a monkey. My aunt and everybody
look
used to
in the camera real quick. Look at
Do I look like a monkey?
Does he look like a chango? Does he look like a chango? So they called you Ape Loke.
Yeah, Ape Loke, and basically because of my appearance, everybody was like, "Oh, you look like a little monkey." And then after I joined, they're like, "That's Ape Loke," and then that was pretty much my name. But yeah, being Mexican from like a black neighborhood was definitely came with this like its own problems, because a lot of Mexicans, they're kind of racist. They don't like when Mexicans roll with different races. So I always got into fights over that, because people would be like, "Why are you from a black gang? You should be down with this or this," and I'm like, fool, I didn't choose what neighborhood to live in. It's not my fault. Like, I just grew up where I grew up at.
You see, you're already starting in on his Calvinism.
Yeah, that's right. I was chosen to be. God had me where he had me at. But yeah, being in there, always getting into fights with other Mexicans because of that. Even people from my own neighborhood, because I'm the Mexican. Is he really about this? So they'd always push me a little bit, make me go a little extra harder.
They made him go Ape Loke.
That's what it was. But yeah, man, it was just a foolish life, real dumb, just doing it for that comfort and to fulfill my pride in one sense or another.
Well, Bird Brings the Word said that we didn't play enough of that song, so you mind if I play 20 more seconds?
Go ahead.
This song is called I'm Living Now, okay? Yeah. I'm going to play 20 more seconds of it, y'all. Check it out.
But now that I know the source of it, I'm living now. I'm living now. I'm living now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm turned up, always. Don't care what they all say.
It's just how it is. It's a long story, y'all. It's a long story, but that's kind of the way we got to do it. Okay, so you're in there, you're doing it, and at home, even your mom was using.
Yeah.
And so that ended you up in and out of jail mainly, right?
Yeah, well, definitely being involved with the gangs. Definitely everything I did was criminal activity. Everything things I was doing for finances, selling dope, robbing people, like all kind of crazy stuff. And so everything I was doing was criminally centered. So
like, you remember the first time you got arrested or first time you ended up in? By the way, guys, let me know in the sound. Whenever I have two people in the studio, I don't have a two mic situation yet. So let me know about the sound. And K-Dub's asking real quick, is that you singing? Real quick before we go on to the next question.
Yeah, man. I'm just kidding. No, that's not. I wish I could sing. No, that's my homie, my little homie Aaron Monteras. Check him out. He got some good stuff on SoundCloud as well. Super dope, brother.
AARON?
Yeah.
MANJARREZ.
If you look, if you look on SoundCloud, his name is on the song, and then you can follow him right there. I'll follow him as well, so you'll see him.
So, oh look, people are digging your stuff. Look at this. Beats like that bring me back to my really Jesus days. K-Dub says he didn't choose the thug life.
Thug life chose me.
Yeah. And people are supporting you, man, saying don't worry about being nervous and stuff like that. All right. So, what was the first time though, and how many? What's the general, in and out situation with jail?
Before the first time I got locked up, I was 12 years old. I had just gotten kicked out of the house. Me and my mom was getting into it. She had a new dude that I didn't really like. We got into it, and I was told to leave the house. So I'm 12 years old, trying to figure out where to...
So 12-year-old, you're kicked out?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's that kind of situation.
That's pretty young.
Yeah, that kind of situation. So, looking for places to hide out at. Found a little hideout. Needed food, needed clothes. So what was I doing? I was robbing from like Walmart, Target, getting food and clothes for the day. Didn't go to school or nothing because I didn't want to get caught because I ran away. I'm a runaway now. But yeah, so during that time I was kicking it with some homies, and we were doing drugs, right? Smoking weed, popping pills, and we didn't have none. And we're like, man, but we need to get high. I'm 12 years old, but we're like, we need to get high. We need to do something. So we're like, let's go huff something. So we went to Walmart, stole some carburetor fluid to huff that, and then got caught doing that. And then after that, I got in and got out. My mom came, she picked me up. She was like, over here, if you're under 18 and if your mom come to take you out, like you can get out the next day as long as like your parents is okay with it, or it's up to the parents if they want to leave you in or take you out. So my mom came in, she was more of a friend, so she was like, nah, he'll get more punished with me, send him with me, I'll whoop him, And then when I got out, she was just like, don't do that again. And then that's it. And then I went on my merry way.
Well, at least she kind of had your back, I guess. Even though you're a 12-year-old runaway.
Yeah. But then after that, what was the next? 14 years old, robbing. I got caught up for burglary, robbing speakers out of different people's cars, and I was like 14 at the time, so robbing speakers, selling them just for money and things like that. Then a couple years after that, getting caught up with marijuana, getting caught up with pills, different type of narcotics. And then when I was 17, got caught up with a pistol, so I got charged with that and trying to, I was living that thug life, so I thought I had to protect myself. So I got caught up with that. Then when I turned 18, caught a couple more felonies, and yeah, it was just in and out.
Just caught a couple more felonies.
Yeah, like in and out. So it was just something that was normal, I guess, for everybody I was around. It was like.
And so, like, something. When was about the time something changed? So, like, you're 18 or so. Mm-hmm. What's the gap between there and when you encountered Jesus?
So I would say the first time when I really started noticing like God was probably when I was like 16, 17. Around this time, I'm smoking with my homies, I'm drinking, and we already had a belief that God exists. I mean, everybody does. That's right. Romans 1 right there. That God reveals himself against all ungodliness and unrighteousness by revealing we can know him through creation. So I already knew what God exists, and I was suppressing it in my sin. But it just started to become more relevant the more older I got. Like we would just chill, and me and some of the homies would be smoking. Some of them would come up, "Hey man, ain't God good, man? God did this, God did that," and it was just a foolish type of thinking that we had. And then when I really started noticing is when I got caught up with the pistol charge, because that time like I was on my way to commit murder because that was just my thought process. I seen somebody I didn't like, but I got caught up right before it happened. And right before it happened, it was just like a weird scenario, and I'm like, how I get caught up right before it happened, I was like, this is God like pulling me. Like I started to feel like him drawing me, you know, because I had like a little conviction, a little thought. I'm like, okay, God's doing something. This can't be coincidence, right? And then once I turned 18, like got off of probation for that gun charge. After I turned 18, it was foolish. Me and my father got in a fight. My father, he was schizophrenic, alcoholic, and he used to want to fight all the time. Every time he would get his Social Security check beginning of the month.
That's when he wanted to fight?
Yeah, because he wouldn't take his pills, because he couldn't take his pills and drink, but he liked to drink.
I'm sorry. It's not funny, but that's kind of a funny... I don't know why it's making me laugh. It's just because it's like this domino effect of when he would try to fight. I'm sorry.
Every single beginning of the month, it was like a routine since I was like 15, 16. Every single month, I'll be the only candidate that he'd want to fight. Like I'm the only one at the house. So
I'm sorry. This seems real funny, man.
No, you're good. But yeah, so me and him got in a fight, and I'm 18, and the police come over, and they come, they split us up, and I think it's gonna be like all other encounters, because every other time they would come, it would be like, Robert, my dad, they'd be like, you're drunk, go in your room, leave your son alone. That's that, you know. And then, but this time, because I'm 18. For some reason, I get charged for it this time, so I go to jail. And because I put him in the chokehold, they're like, it's aggravated assault, so I had to stay in there. Man. So I was like, all this. And on top of that, the police who got me knew who I was, like from my gangbang and stuff. They were like, oh, what's up, ape bloke? Police is calling me that. So the police is calling me that. And
like,
I'm
don't
like,
you know it's racist?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh. As soon as they said that, I'm like, oh no. I was like, oh no, they know me. I'm going down. And they try to hit gang charges. But I'm in jail this time. And as soon as I went in there, I was like, man, I'm not going to be one of those people that go to jail and then come out and believe in Jesus, because that was kind of common. Like, you've seen that a lot. So in my pride, in my suppression, knowing that God is using this time probably to reach me, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. But God made a fool out of me, because somebody from my neighborhood was in the jail with me. And when I seen him, he was a big homie, like, in my neighborhood. So it was like, kind of looked up to him. And one day he was like, hey, little homie, let's go to church. And I'm like, what? And this whole time I've been saying, I'm not going to church. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Went to church, and it was just like one of them sermons where I'm like, how does this guy know me? I've never heard a sermon like that. Previous times, like when I would go to church, it would be for like, we're living at homeless shelters and they're giving away free stuff. Let's go to the church to get some free stuff, but it'd always be this, good feeling, preachy type message. It'd always be a bunch of white people, look like I'm the outcast, so it never really related to me. But when I heard that sermon when I was in jail, I was like, what the heck? This is weird, right? This is weird. And then I went back to my cell, and I'm like, okay, let me try this God thing out, all right? So I was in my cell, and then I had a Bible, and I remember I had a friend who I used to smoke with. They used to say God is good all the time. He was like, hey, whenever you read the Bible, man, he used to try to get me to read the Bible all the time, smoking weed and drink. It was weird.
It's a special kind of hermeneutic.
Yeah. And this was his hermeneutical process. He was like, okay, when you want to study scripture, you want to just open it randomly, because there's going to be a scripture that's meant for you for that specific day.
They call that lucky dipping.
Yeah, that's right. It was the magic 8-ball reading. Yeah. So when I was in my cell, that's what I did, because that's all I knew. I was like, let me see what happens. All right, so I randomly opened it, and it landed on Daniel chapter 4. Oh. About Nebuchadnezzar, being the king, and then he had the dream, and where he was supposed to... he was supposed to give glory to God.
Guys, we're going to try it right now. All right, Rob, let's see what you land on here. Here's the Bible.
Go.
All right, we're going to see what lucky dipping magic 8-ball routine, where Rob goes.
Judas hung himself.
What'd you get? What do you got?
And when they had crossed over, they came to the land at Gennesaret. And when the men of that place recognized them, they sent around to all that region and brought to him all who were sick.
All right, God is good.
That's the word
guys.
For the day.
Hey, but Michelle Marie says at least you didn't get a neck tattoo, Rob.
Oh, man. Thank God. Plenty of times I wanted to, too. I was like...
Rox B says, What's wrong with a neck tattoo? Anyways, you got some funny comments.
Man.
Okay, so you did your hermeneutic, and what happened?
So I read in this Daniel chapter 4, and in my mind, in my misplacement of self within Scripture, I'm like, oh, I'm Daniel, right? Like I'm Daniel, and I'm this king that was trying to give glory to myself and wasn't giving glory to God, and now God has taken everything away from me, and now I'm here living with wild beasts and animals, and I'm eating the dew of the field, this slop that's in jail. So during that time, I was like, whoa, God is speaking to me through this.
Okay.
And from that instance, like I started reading Scripture. I would go to the Bible studies, all this. Then I got out of jail and went right back to everything I said I wasn't going to do. Like back to gang banging, drug dealing. Like it stood, like I held on to it for a little for like the first 2 weeks. But then as soon as I got off the ankle bracelet, I went right back to doing everything I wanted to do. And then a couple months later, I get caught up with another charge. And with the second charge, get caught up with a drug charge, and I'm in there. And this time I get caught up, I was like, okay, God, I know what you're doing. Like you couldn't reach me when I was outside, so you used this to kind of grab me and like bring me into some solitude so I could focus on you. So that time I was like, okay. As soon as I went to jail that time, I went straight for it, reading, Bible studying, hanging out, trying to preach to people and all crazy things like that. And when I was in there was a dude that I was really cool with. Me and him used to do the Bible studies all the time. Cool Mexican dude, all tatted up and stuff.
He had the neck tattoo.
Yeah, he had a neck tattoo for sure. A bunch of them. You couldn't see his neck. But we would hang out all the time. And then I ended up getting transferred to a different section within the jail in order to leave to go to work, because they let you do that. And from the first day, went back to, I got a chance to leave jail. Oh yes, and went right back to doing it all over again. And it wasn't until years later, after I get out of jail, I'm out of jail and I'm smoking meth, I'm popping pills, doing all kind of crazy stuff. Really just deep in my sin and suppressing everything, And it was different this time though, because I had convictions that I never had before.
Right.
Like I just feel bad about the stuff that I'm doing, but I'm suppressing it. And there came a time where I'm at a bus stop right by my house, and the guy that I used to do the Bible studies with all the time, he gets off of the bus stop, and he's suited and booted, and booted with a Bible in his hand, and he's
God
like,
is good, homie.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I'm sitting there like, what the heck? Like, and I'm high when I seen him. I was on meth, I was on weed, I was drunk when I seen him, so I was like, what the heck? And it brought conviction even further. Like I just felt the weight of my sin, and I felt like God just like pressing in on me. While I was weeks passed by, months passed by, and I'm just feeling this weight. And out of nowhere, I'm sitting outside my door, and there's people that are approaching me, and I'm thinking I used to sell drugs, so I'm thinking they're here for some drugs, right? Like, and I'm like, okay, what you need? They're like, I want to know do you know about Jesus, right? And I'm sitting there like, right after I'm feeling, all this weight and stuff, and they come and they're like, I want to tell you about you. I'm like, nah, man, I can't do it. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I can't do it. I done tried that already. See, because in my mind, it was all works based. All the stuff that I learned previous from my first encounter up until that point, I was thinking, no, I can't do it. I tried that already. Every single time I try, I mess up. So why even try? That was my whole thought process, because I thought in order to be accepted by God, it had to be through my works. And then that's when they came back and gave me the gospel, that it's not about what you have done, it's about what Jesus has done. God is a God of multiple chances, right? It's through Jesus that we get our salvation, and not based upon what you do. So what's holding you from loving him, from believing in this? And I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, and I just started, feeling the presence of God. I started crying, and they prayed for me. And then a couple months later, found my church, and then really got plugged in, got into studying, and then been growing with them ever since.
So what about? So you didn't have the greatest relationship with your mom,
Mm-hmm.
but she was a part of all this. Can you talk a little bit about that real quick?
Yeah. So me and my mom growing up never really had the greatest relationship. She was, she was a user, so she was always out of the house, gone for weeks at a time. She would come visit like on the weekends or things like that, just to come say, hi and whatnot. And then she'd be gone again. And so I kind of had a resentment for her because of that, because I'm like, you're my mom, like I need you, right? And I was always left with my grandma. So my grandma pretty much raised me, but But yeah, that resentment was built, and as we got older, it was just like always back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then come to find out, like when I'm living, when the people came to minister to me at this time, my mom, she was going to church, and she had invited me to go to church with her one time. And I went to church with her, but it was a bunch of white people. The sermon was about tithing, and at that time, all they want is money. That's all they want is money. Why am I going to? No, I was like, no, I'm not going to no church. But then before I started going to my church, I had just gotten kicked out of my apartment, selling dope. They found out, kicked me out, go back, and then when I'm at, I asked my mom, like, oh, let me stay with you real quick for a little bit till I get back on my feet. And I'm over there, and then she told me, hey, I'm going to this new church. You should come check it out. I'm like, no, if it's like the last one, I'm good. I don't want to check none of that out. And through the time, like, I know what she's doing. I'm like, no, man, you're out here, right? Like, I know who you are. Like, I don't believe what you say is a good church. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of put it off. But through a series of events, I ended up going to the church, and it like blew my mind. And when I was there, my mom was going, and just to see like her walk, because she was still using even though she was going, but to see her walk like through that and her going to church, I was like, I kind of put it off. But it wasn't until like I got saved that I started to see the work of God that was taking place in my mom's life, because like a year after she started going to church, she being a user for years, my whole life growing up, that's all I known her as. Being a user for years is that a year after she started going to church, gave her life to Jesus, and from there she began getting sober, getting clean, gave all that up for Jesus. And I was like, holy snaps, like what's going on? And then once she gave all that up, she went to get a job, she got sobered up, and she's been clean for like the last 3 years now.
And now you and your mom go to the same church.
Yeah, now we're at the same church serving. She's part of the worship team. I teach when I can, and now we're both rocking together, and our relationship has been reconciled since then. We've been cool. We're like best friends now.
So your mom invited you to an event, right?
No.
Or you invited her. Which way was it?
No, so she had went to an event, and she was telling me about it. She was like,
"This is like an event, everybody. It's like a big outreach that the church. It's called Reborn Church of Phoenix does, called Bless the Block, where they give away lots of things to people that they need, to cover physical needs, but also there's Christian hip hop and gospel message there. So she had went to that one year.
She had went to that, and that's when she was telling me about the church. She was like, I went to this church. They had rappers. They had this and stuff. And I'm like, I had no idea nothing about Christian rap at the time.
Except you knew T-Bone.
I knew who T-Bone was. When I was in jail, people used to always tell me, like, hey, you should check this dude T-Bone out. Checked him out. He was all right, but
that wasn't necessarily the business.
Yeah. And then, she was telling me about all that, and I'm like, okay, that kind of got my interest, but again, in my sin, suppressing everything, like, no, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do this. But yeah, once she started going there, she started attending, and she started inviting me to different events. And one day I finally fell in, and I'm like, all right, I'll go check this church out. And when I checked it out, like my pastor, he's just super gospel centered in what he does, and just hearing the message and the way he preaches, it was just like, whoa, this is for me. Like, this is for me. Like, this isn't just for white people. This isn't for them old white folks. This is for a young Mexican kid like me. So yeah, that kind of got me into all that. So
trying to find a good T-Bone song to play for people real quick.
Demon Killer. That was one I used to love. That was the first song I heard by him.
Oh, that's the other version. Are you thinking of Demon Executor?
No, Demon Killer.
That's the one you're thinking about?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. All right, let me play this a little bit for y'all. Hold on. All right, because I can only play a little bit. All right, so this is T-Bone. This is what Rob listened to when he was in jail. This is his man right here. All right, here it goes. Right. Hold on. I got to find the right spot. All right, here we go.
Slanging drugs, lounging with the players and the thugs. Oh, I used to make that thriller, but now I'm a demon killer. Chilling with my homies, slanging drugs, lounging with the players and the thugs. Oh.
But that's not Rob, by the way,
Yeah,
everybody. That's
yeah, but-
Tebow that he was saying he listened to when he's locked down. So you got out, and then what happened?
So when I got out of jail,
I mean,
Oh.
the event is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Like, so the event. All right. So you hear some Christian rap, but it was different than T-Bone.
yeah. So I finally fell into it. Went to a service, then got invited to an event that they did. When I was at the event, that's when they were playing some rap music, and I was like, I started to hear it, but they were saying some good things. I forgot what it was, a Lecrae song that I heard. I forgot what song it was, but it was like, for those who got legal jobs and beat the odds. I remember that line, and I was like,
all right.
and I was like, what kind of rap song is this? What? Like, hold on, they don't rap like this where I'm from. So when I peeped it out, I went to go ask my homie Aaron Monteras, who's on that "I'm Living Now" song. Asked him, who is this? He was like, that's Lecrae. And then played another song. I'm like, who's this? And then played another song. Who's this? And that's when I just got introduced to this whole world of Christian hip hop, and it just blew my mind. I'm like, what? Like, this is crazy. Like, it was good music. Like, it was actually good. It wasn't corny, wasn't like weird, like nerdy, like, or anything like that. And it actually kind of like drew me in even more. I'm like, man, what's going on? Like, I'm just getting introduced to this whole new world from my whole life of sin, getting exposed to, some
So,
righteous rap.
That was what year? Like, or when's the general time when you kind of, because in your song you mention it, you give a date.
Yeah, January 2014 is when I really laid it all down. January 2013 is kind of when like all this story was happening. When I started going to church, that was in 2013. The first time I actually went was October 2013, and then once I started going to the events, November, January. I remember my pastor, he's Christian rapper, right? And he was doing a hip hop service, and he was like, "Hey, I got this hip hop service. I know you rap," because I used to rap back in the day.
Right.
And then he was like, "Hey, I know you rap, and I want to see if maybe you want to do something." And I'm like, "Ah, man." At that time, I was like kind of wishy washy, but I was playing it off at church, like, "Yeah, no,
Right.
I got it," And then he was like, I told him, I was like, "Man, I'm, like I see what I need to do, but I can't." He's like, "Rap about that, man. Like put your heart on that." And I wrote the song, and when I showed him the song, he gave me the opportunity to, rap it before everybody. And when I was up there on that stage, that's when I realized, like, yo, what am I doing? Like, I can't be living for myself. Like, I was trying so hard to maintain like a pride and for like life to be all about me, that when I was up there, it was like the first time I'm like really doing something beneficial for other people, and it just like touched me, and like just the people that were close to me, just to see them crying because of the song that I'm writing and like everything that's happening. I'm like, man, like I can't be doing this. And from that moment forward, I was like, I have to lay it all down. Like, I can't, live life for me. It has to be all about Jesus. So
Now that's amazing. Super shout out to Rox B. Dang, you just put it down in the super chat. Rox B, I know you know what that means. We'll talk about that later. Meaning later on in the show. Now check this out. Oh look, someone you may know says Vocab still got the stash, kind of looking like Mario. That's right. That's right.
Oh, his name is someone you meant.
Yeah,
I thought
right.
you were.
No, that's what his name. So we're gonna play another snippet of one of your songs right here, and then I want you to explain to people though, how did you end up from that situation to becoming a Bible college graduate? All right, so here's another part of "I'm Living Now" by Rob Reborn. By the way, go to his SoundCloud right now. Just looking for Rob Reborn. Follow him on SoundCloud. Here's a snippet. Guys, don't worry, I'll play the rap part, but I can only play little snippets. So the title of this is From Gangs to Bible College. You didn't just go to Bible college, you graduated Bible college. How did that part of the story happen?
So after January 2014, when I laid everything down, I had to renounce everything that I was doing, all my gang affiliations and things like that. So I had to let people know, like, hey, like, I ain't rocking like that no more. Like, I ain't doing all that. And they were cool with it at first. And then a couple months later, had an incident where some things that I've done in the past was starting to come back, and it was affecting some of the people that I used to hang out with, and they were like, hey, these people, they're messing with us, and it's because of what you did, we need to retaliate, and I'm like, at that point I was like hit, like that's when I was like, yo, this is like for real. Like, I'm really gonna give this up right now. And that, like, I had to let it know, like, man, that's not me. I'm not rocking like that no more. I'm not gonna retaliate how you guys want me to. Like, that's not me. And from that point, like, after I said that, that's when I just had this, like, yo, like, is this for real? Like, I'm giving up people that I've grown up with. I know their family, I know their mom and everything. Like, I'm literally, like, disconnecting myself from that. Do I really want to do this? Right? Because this is all I've known. And so I was struggling. Like, I was like, man, I need to solidify my faith. Like, is this for real? Like, do I really believe in this, or is this fake? Could it be fake? So that's what got me diving into apologetics. I was like,
hear that? And that's just so you know. These days, Rob does urban apologetics and teaches theology. So we're spending time over in this other part, but it's not just, Jesus saved him, he's not on drugs. It's Jesus saved him, and now he teaches people theology and is a Bible college graduate. So what happened? You got into theology because you wanted to make sure what you're believing was true and real.
Yeah.
So you mentioned John Lennox in the beginning and Hugh Ross
Yeah.
and Kent Hovind.
Yeah.
Any other names or something like that?
Yeah, so I was listening to them, and then I started to realize we had some pretty solid arguments, and I'm like, man, like, what I believe is real. Like, this is great news. Like, I need to know more now. And I had a friend, that goes to church with me, my friend Eric. And he had came up to me knowing that, I'm in this search, and I'm trying to know more about my faith. He comes up to me and he hands me a book, not a book, he hands me a DVD called How to Answer a Fool.
How to Answer a Fool. Uh-oh. That, for those who don't know, K-Dub knows. Hey, what's up, Castro, in the chat, by the way? We got a DJ producer in the chat. How to Answer a Fool is presuppositional styled apologetics in an evangelistic context. Saitan Brukake out on the street. You can watch it online. Just go How to Answer a Fool. I'll try to look for the link. And Richard James asks, how was our Thai food? It was good and hot.
Oh, man. Super spicy.
But you're gonna. He said he's liked it so much he's gonna take his mom back.
Oh, yeah. I be trying to take my mom to new places. She don't eat that good, so I gotta tell. No, I'm just kidding. My mom's a great cook.
So you saw this DVD, and then what happened?
I was mind blown. I was like, I have an even more solid argument, like what I believe is really real this time, and just the whole methodology behind it, like coming from the presupposition and how important Sola Scriptura is, like to the Christian, because if you try to get rid of Scripture alone as our ultimate authority, then what basis do you have to combat, atheists who use our beliefs, to justify theirs? You know what I'm saying? By not holding fully to Sola Scriptura, that's where you end up in muddy waters.
Sorry, I'm not gonna play it. I'm just giving people the link.
But,
okay, so let me put the link in here real quick, guys. By the way, Castro, it's a place you and I have been to before. It's Pad Thai and Camelback. I think the first time I went there was with you, Castro. Richard James. Okay, so that led you from apologetics to Bible college.
Yeah, because as soon as I'm in there and I'm studying and I'm getting solid in my faith and what I believe, that's when I'm like, man, I need to know more about this. Now that I'm solid, let me know what the Bible teaches, And I had a friend, Eric, who was going to Grand Canyon University at the time for theology, and I remember I asked him, what are you going to school for? Because I knew he went, and he was like, I go to school for theology. I'm like, what's that? And then he was like, study of God. I'm like, okay, they got a school for that? He's like, yeah, man. I'm like, what, for real? I'm like, I got to look into that. And then I went. And in my mind, I'm like, can felons even go to a university? Can I even go to school? I didn't know anything. Then I went there, and next thing you know, I was starting in January.
Oh, that's dope, man.
And then,
did you quit your job and stuff to finish school in time, or what?
Yeah, definitely. Because at the time, I was in a position, where I was.
Because you got done pretty quick.
Yeah. No, it took me 3.5 years.
Bro.
Is that quick?
Bachelor's degree, 3.5 years? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's about as quick as most people can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 years, 4.5. People sometimes end up in 5 years. You did it.
Yeah, well, yeah, so, yeah, I didn't know that. I thought it was a long time. It felt like forever.
Bachelor's degree, I mean, guys, am I wrong? Bachelor's degree usually takes 4 years for most people. So, yeah, that's good. So then you got it, and when did you graduate?
6 months ago.
All right. So what you been doing since then?
I've been working for them, and then Really.
So the school hires felons too.
Yeah, thank God. But yeah, so I've been working for them, teaching at the church, helping out teaching Sunday school, teaching Bible studies, any way that I can, and then trying to get on top of this music and
Well,
put some
speaking
more
of that,
music out.
let's
So,
play another little snippet of Rob's music. This is Rob Reborn. Follow him on SoundCloud. This is a 20-second snippet of "I'm Living Now" with Aaron Harez.
Living for something that's bigger than me. Led by the spirit that's living in me. Serving my God and it's giving me peace. My eyes have been open. Exposed to the truth and I love what I see. Surrounded by grace. I love that I'm loved. No longer in chains. I love that I'm free.
We'll play some more. You guys need to follow him though right now. I'll put the link in there again, but it's just soundcloud.com/RobReborn1. And, let them know you heard about him and let them know what's up. So here's what I want to do, guys. I'm going to open this up to you right now. Questions for Rob about anything. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you in a second while we're waiting on people to bring in some questions here. So I'm looking at the live chat if you guys got any questions for Rob at all. One more thing to share is, could you share... Don't do lucky dipping this time. Your favorite Bible verse and why? While they're getting their questions ready. So Rob's going to share his favorite Bible verse. He says it's been very important to him. And I can attest that this is a solid brother. He's always supporting people. He's always encouraging. He's training people in theology and specifically Reformed theology. That's right. And so it's a beautiful story, you know what I'm saying? And now he's going to share his favorite Bible verse. What is it? And break it down for us a little
all right.
bit.
So it's Romans chapter 5, verse 8. Okay. Definitely got me at a good time. But it says, "For while we were still weak, at the right time, Christ died for the ungodly. For one will scarcely die for a righteous person, though perhaps for a good person one would dare even to die. But God shows his love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." So that the fact that Christ died for us while we were still sinners was so detrimental to me, because in previous thoughts of my thoughts on Christianity,
detrimental?
Yeah,
No.
I'm nervous.
Let's help him out. Detrimental means negative. That it's messing you up. You mean like crucial? Or
crucial, yeah. You know.
Detrimental be like, that would really hurt me. That's all right, bro. I'm just trying to help you out, man.
But yeah, it was really crucial for me in my walk. Because at a time where I'm thinking I have to work in order to be accepted by God and to be loved by God, to know that at a point where I was in total depravity, that God expressed his love. And then what I think is so crucial too is the fact that it says demonstrates, right? Mm-hmm. It's not something that's past. It's something that's continuing. Demonstrates is something that is continuing on and is still happening. So at one point in an event in history where Jesus died for people while they were still sinners, that love is still being demonstrated up until today is like amazing. Like, man, like the more holy I think I get, and at times when I fall and I think, dang, like I messed up, God's not gonna love me again, to look back on that and to know that God has loved me even before, even in my depravity, is just tremendous and great.
We got some good people. Michelle Marie says, "I'm Reformed also." Burr Brings the Word says, "A beautiful verse. I love Romans 2. And Dark Tooth just says, "Reformed theology. Yes, amen, brother." Mm-hmm. And Carm says, "What's up, Carm, by the way? Vocab is a human speak and spell." I don't know about that. I'm just trying to help. And Ilhud says, "Amen, Rob. We welcome you to the fam."
Hey, appreciate that.
And Takia Watch, who does a great channel on Islam, says, "You sound like a wonderful guy." Oh, here's your first question, bro.
All right.
Rox B in the house. What were you first drawn to in apologetics?
First, because of the because of like the thoughts behind Christianity. Like when you're outside of Christianity, it's all evidence based. Oh, there's no evidence for Christianity. What evidence do you have? So that was the first thing that I was drawn to in apologetics is what evidence do we have? Where'd the Bible come from? That was definitely one of the first questions that I have. Like, okay, this Bible just comes out of nowhere. Where did it come from? And once I started studying that and how historical accounts are written, how the scriptures were written and canonized, I think that was definitely something that was pivotal.
Any resources, even videos, because I know you
get
get stuff online. Any resources you'd recommend?
I know I watched a lot of James White.
On that.
Yeah, a lot of James White. John Lennox had a good one too. I forgot the names of the videos. They were so long ago that I watched it.
That's good though.
But yeah, just studying what evidence do we have to support us as Christians. That's pretty much what drew me in. But then once I seen how to answer a fool, that kind of changed.
All right. So Richard James says, still Reborn D. I think he's asked. I don't know exactly what he's asking, but something about Reborn Disciple, who's a pastor of the church.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about Reborn Disciple or something. I don't know the question exactly, but tell him about Reborn Disciple or something.
Okay, so Reborn Disciple is a Christian rapper from back in the day who used to do songs with the guy sitting right next to me.
This is true.
And who is now a pastor of the Reborn Church of Phoenix.
Right.
And he's still kind of he says he's retired.
Every now and then he raps.
He sneaks out sometimes. But yeah, and he's definitely been a great influence in my life. A strong man of God, just really faithful.
And you lived with him for a while, right?
Yeah, I did. At a point in time when I was living, when I was going to school, I was going to quit because my living situations weren't good. I was like, I had to quit school, get a job, and get my own spot. And my pastor was like, nah, man, you need to learn. Like, I need you to learn. And he offered me to take the room that he had available.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it was, man, I was like, what, for reals? And he let me, and I was living with him, and yeah, really, really poured into me, like, during that time. And it was just, amazing.
Awesome, man.
But yeah.
Look,
a little bit.
Some great questions for you. Kathy Be Good says, Rob, I'm wondering if a prison ministry is in your future. Maybe tell her tell her the deal with that, bro.
So prison ministry is in the past, and the present. Prison ministry is definitely something I'm already involved in. I'm part of a prison fellowship. Have a group of guys, a group of Christian rappers who go into the prisons out here in Arizona. We went to New Mexico a couple of times, or one time. We're gonna go back though, and it's kind of expanding. But yeah, we go into the prisons, minister, in that sense. So yeah, I'm kind of already involved in that.
But don't sometimes they have rules where you can't do certain things if you're a felon or something like that?
Well, you can't visit somebody if you're a felon, but if you're accepted through the prison fellowship as a minister, you get in. Yeah, God's just opening doors. But yeah.
Bird Brings the Word says, question for Rob. What did you feel in the spirit when you found a church that vibe with you, Rob? Like, what clicked? I've been doing church hop myself. So, like, I guess they're asking you to describe that feeling when you found a spot. Like, when
I was actually challenged, for the fact that I was challenged when I started going to church, and it was just the fact that I wasn't allowed to be comfortable. Like he doesn't give no room for you to be comfortable. Right. There's always a response that's required after the sermon is done, and and he'll let you know you're either going to respond negatively, which is what I don't want you to do, but there's a positive response, and just the fact that I was required to respond definitely helped me change, because the other services that I've been to, before, like I took my faith serious, it was always a feel good kind of message, oh, Jesus loves you, John 3:16, and things like that. And once I was challenged, that's really what I'm like, okay, this is like for reals. Like I'm challenged.
That's powerful, because that shows like sometimes the preaching that Christians think they need to do to get people there it's counterintuitive, but that's not actually what really works long term. We got Jennifer Liza dropping some good verses there, so I'm going to put them there. Michelle Marie says, Rob, did you have any trouble leaving the gang?
At first, just during that time that I told you guys about, where like they kind of got mad about me for not wanting to
retaliate.
But after a couple months, they were cool. They kind of put it to the rug once they seen that it was for real.
Right.
Like, because there's some people like they're like, oh, I believe in Jesus now, because they went to jail and they just don't want to get caught and go to jail no more. Those type of situations. But when they seen that it was like a solid faith, they respected me. I mean, there's still some that kind of talk down, but.
Do you still see any guys anymore?
Yeah, definitely. See a couple of them, still hang out with some of them, talk to some of them. So
you had mentioned to me that a lot of your friends now who got out what religion are a lot of them turning to, or what worldview are a lot of them turning to?
So a lot of them usually come out of the they go to prison and then they come out and they're here with this 5%er kind of worldview, this consciousness, this black consciousness, usually that they come out with, and they usually try to attack the faith by, hey, Christianity is a white man's religion, and it was forced upon them, not knowing who the church fathers were and where they were located at, and things like that. So yeah, they come from that type of worldview, but then you just remind them like, hey, here's white guys translated your hieroglyphics too, so we're kind of
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Darktooth says, I'm an ex-gang member as well. I used to be a black stone.
Oh.
My testimony has been powerful to many of the brethren at my church. In what ways has the Lord used your testimony in your local body? I remember you mentioned people crying the first time you rapped, but go ahead and answer that how you want.
Yeah, definitely. I think it brings hope. I think it shows the fact that people can be forgiven. A lot of times people have unforgiveness that they have within themselves. They feel like they've done so bad, or hey, the church is gonna burn down, or weird things like that. But then when they hear a testimony like mine, they can look towards Jesus and say, hey, there's forgiveness, like in completeness, through the work that he's done, and not based on like what we have to do.
Amen.
What we've done, so.
That's good. Here, I'll let you read this on the screen. This one right here.
Órale, homie, Mexican o qué?
You want to answer that? Or you wanna save that one?
My last name is Batrez, so yeah, I guess I'm Mexican. No, I am Mexican. But yeah, grew up in a predominantly black
neighborhood. You like that question? Huh?
That's a good question. Órale.
All right, Tequila Watch is asking, does he have a YouTube channel that we could subscribe to?
No, unfortunately not.
But
just getting into this.
You do have
a SoundCloud.
And let's play another snippet of your song called I'm Living Now, and then I'll put the link so people can hear it. Here's 20 more seconds for y'all.
Free from the pain, free from the hurt, free from the shame, free from the curse, free from the strain of doing the works. Cause now I can rest without going berserk, cause my God is within me. And I take his light everywhere I go. I've been safe from the door. He set me apart, now they say I close. It ain't gang signs that I'm throwing up. It's peace signs, I'm trying to show his love. I get.
That's good. So let me drop that link back in here. So don't subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's more of an artist, so what he's really trying to do is push some music out to SoundCloud. There's no YouTube channel to subscribe to. Follow him on SoundCloud. Please, everyone. Let's try to get him up. All right. Let's see. Lily R. just mentioned a comment. I don't know if you want to comment. I have a brother who was in jail and he joined a gang. But with prayer, he's out of the gang for years and is doing so well. Still praying for him.
Amen. Keep him in prayer too.
And then, let's see. Darktooth is saying Darkstone was occultic. Wait, are you talking about something else? Are you talking about Muslim Islam? Sorry, I think I lost track of the. So excuse me, guys, if I lost. I might have lost.
You said it.
I think you might have. Okay, I know we've answered this, but people ask again. So one more time on this one. Abdul Sumarhuro says, I heard people who are in gangs get in trouble when trying to leave. Can you share your experience leaving the gang life? Maybe you can answer the same question in a different way with some other angles, or maybe talk about other people. I don't know.
Yeah, so there are instances where it is tough for people to leave gangs. I guess it just depends on like your affiliation, what gang you're affiliated with, who it is. We were just in the neighborhood, bunch of homies that hung out. That was pretty much like family. So for them to like want to do something crazy to me for leaving it, they're not gonna get that crazy because there's a respect there because of what I do. So.
That's good.
So,
Darktooth says, no, I was still talking about the gang vocab. So I guess he's saying the gang he was in had like some strange.
Didn't he say it was Blackstone or something like that? Oh yeah, that's in Chicago, right?
I think that's what he said. That's what he said. And then Michelle Marie was putting Spanish at you. I don't know how good your Spanish is, bro.
No habla.
Yeah, I don't think.
That's all I know.
Yeah, I mean, just so you know, like. So many Mexicans in Phoenix, they don't be speaking no Spanish. Yeah. They can order off the menu though.
Yeah, we've been in America for a long time. I don't have any family from Mexico until like my great grandparents. So.
What do we got? Like one guy at our church that speaks good Spanish, or what?
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
All right, and Jinru says, Rob, thank you so much for sharing. And Lily R is talking about her brother being in Latin Kings. Man, I didn't realize so many of the viewers had folks involved in this stuff. Let's play a little snippet of this. I'm going to see if you guys got any more questions. And then we're going to get into some rapping. All right, let's play a little snippet here.
No going up, no smoking blunts, man, you know what's up. I'll be drunk in the spirit. It's a natural high, no more chasing these feelings, and this a high that's gone blast, and I'm living now, and I ain't going back, and I don't think the same because my nature different. Bad is business, and I stay persistent. For his glory, when I make decisions, try to reach the coach and put his name up in it.
That's dope. All right. Oh, we got another question. What Bible college did you go to? Sorry if you already said that. I must have been busy. That's all right. What Bible college did you go to? Tell people.
I went to Grand Canyon University, located out here in Phoenix, Arizona. So that's where I went. Definitely great experience. Loved it.
So, are you about to go to seminary though?
I'm thinking about it later on. I'm not sure what I want to do with that yet, but yeah.
We're going to start a Rob Reborn college fund.
Then.
Carm M says you're going to start a gang. Well, Carm, you're Puerto Rican. I don't know if there's enough of you guys. Is it going to be an ethnically based gang? Or
Dang.
Now, there's like 4 Puerto Ricans at our church, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Kind of deep.
Yeah, kind of deep. 4. She says, I am the Latin queen. Oh, my gosh.
Ooh.
These people. All right, so, guys, if there's another question, bring it out. Because, D New says, that would fill the Bone Thugs vacancy in my life. You have a Bone Thugs vacancy? What? Sorry, you guys. People are funny over here. All right, let's get into this beat. So, I got a couple beats, and everybody knows that I think one person single-handedly. One person, Rocks B, you made the super chat happen single-handedly. By the way, I saw Tony Tabano in here. Hey, Tony, if you're still in here, much love to you. What's up? But tonight it looks like Rocks B single-handedly took care of business. So we are going to do a rap. So I'm going to drop the beat. And he's got some writtens he's going to kick. And I'm going to do some freestyles. So we're getting ready. John Doc says you should go to Moody Bible Institute. All right, so let's see what's up. So you guys ready for this beat? Let's see. Which one's your beat? Here's your beat. All right. You want to go first or second, bro?
I'll go first.
All right, Rob's about to bring it. It's time, y'all. I don't know if you want to put on a hat or you want to say, no, I'm just kidding, man. All right, here
Get
we
Eminem
go.
on you guys.
It's time. Oh, one last question. Rob, do you ascribe to a specific Christian denomination or are you non-denominational? I'm non-denominational. Last question.
I would consider myself a Reformed Baptist, so...
There's your answer.
Yeah.
All right. Good question. All right. Let me bring up this beat. This is provided by Jonathan Soko, bringing the fire. It's time. Oh, you guys want it louder? You gotta kind of be loud on the mic too. I think the volume's probably about right. All right, y'all. Just gonna drop this. It's time.
Check it. All right.
Reborn.
Do what the mic. Do what the rappers do.
In the house.
I said. Yeah, I'm stepping out, gotta let my light shine. And you know it shine bright, still glow in the nighttime. Cause you know the darkness cannot overcome it. The strength from the spirit got me feeling like who won it. Cause I'm in the midst of war, filled with God's peace. Silence and arguments before they come out their mouth like a beast. But they suppress it, can't contest it. The contentions towards me, she be like, yo, my dog free. Instead they want me on the leash. And I'm like, oh no. But what they talking about? But I bring her weight. And see, they just run their mouth, but they ain't pumping brakes. And they out here raising hell, but I'm right here at the gate. And I know they won't prevail.
Alright, hey, you got a second verse? Oh shoot, we said no. Okay, y'all, I guess it's my turn then. Rob got saved out of the hood. Look in the chat, I see Kathy be good. Well, none of us are good naturally, but Rob got saved supernaturally. If you're asking me what my favorite verse is, it's Romans 5:8. It's for the kids who's in sin, that children of disobedience. We rock the microphone, Bible beat with ingredients that we need. We put them together, make this beat hot like Phoenix weather, tougher than leather. Go into hell, nah, we saved. Jesus, he is Noel the first. I burst a verse, a freestyle sick. Bring me the nurse, no curse. Yeah, we street. Man, I messed up, but I was gonna say keep it strictly clean. Keep it clean, know what I mean? I can see clear like I have Visine up in my eyes. Christ so fly, I look to the sky, I dry my eye at all the hurt going on in the world. Jesus, he loves you, and that's for real. Yes, y'all, he's a lion unfurled. Let him loose out of the cage, boys and girls. Here comes the lion of Judah, saving the kids on the corner puffing Buddha. Yes, you know, Yeshua, Jesus, the Christ. I got the mic, device. He sliced real knife like a knife through the devil. Take it to another level. No Mario, like that hair right here. Hey yo, what's up? And there to the super chat. Hello, how you doing? Jesus the Christ, you know we pursuing him, and when we not, he steps to us. Jesus the Christ, he made us new like a new man. He took us out, made us brand humans, brand new. It's part of his plan. Jesus the Christ, he is the God. Man, Theanustas, it means God breathed. The beat's almost over, so we got to leave. When my flesh dies, I cannot grieve. He made me believe. When he gave me the faith, saved me from the lake of fire. Yes, he's good, he's great all the time with the freestyle mind. The beat is over, let's count to 9. I don't know why though. Alright, yo, this beat was provided by Jonathan Soko. I don't really know the name though. I don't think we got. Oh, Nick Lewis says this is great. Y'all should get together periodically to make rap videos. Oh shoot, make some rap videos. Kathy B. Good says, I'm so glad I stayed up to see this serious night. All God bless you all. Wonderful video tonight. Hey, that's awesome. Praise God. Praise God. All right. What about? Do you have an acapella verse you could close out with? You don't have acapella? You don't have no acapella verses? I'm trying to get him to do one more, everybody. I'm trying. I thought you had acapellas. Like, well, let me play a snippet. You know what? We should have played a snippet of your other song too, huh? Let me play another snippet of his other song, and maybe he can think of an acapella at some point. All right. Here we go. I only can play snippets, homies. Okay, so what should we do, guys? I think it's pretty much the end of the show. Oh, let me tell you what's going on real quick, guys. Tomorrow, plan is going live again. Well, my man, Alberto N. He runs the Instagram channel account called Urban Apologetics. It's urban_apologetics. He does a great job making reformed memes, lots of humor and stuff. And he's going to come on tomorrow night live. Look for that show. It's going to be in the night around the same time. And what we're going to do is we're going to tell you guys ways that you can use Instagram for God's glory. I know it's a little different. He's a young dude. He's got a lot of great ideas. And then also we're going to take Q&A. So it's going to be a live apologetics Q&A. That's Friday night. Then Saturday, these are all people, none of them are through Skype. These are all people, they're going to be actually here. Saturday, I'm going live with my main man, Damon Richardson. He's in town visiting from Atlanta. He was supposed to go on tonight. We had to reschedule. It all worked out. And he was raised in the Nation of Islam, right? Raised. So he was wearing a bow tie as a little kid. And he's going to come on and talk about how Jesus saved him. And now he's an urban apologist. So great fire. And let me just tell you guys again real quick. Go to soundcloud.com/RobReborn1 and I'll play another little snippet of So I Shine, the second song here. All right, let's check it out real quick. So that's Rob Reborn on his channel. So you don't know acapella? Nah. He don't think he got it, guys. He don't think he got on acapella. What? Maybe you have to come back and do it next time. That's all right. That's all right, man. All right, give people the final shout out, bro. I'll let you do it. You got the final thing, and then we're gonna close this joint out. Thank you guys. You guys have been awesome. And Roxby, thanks for making it happen tonight. So final, whatever you want to say, bro.
All right, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for all the encouraging words. And I just pray that God uses this time to edify you guys. Hopefully you guys seen a testimony of God's grace through what was spoken today, and that you guys would lean closer to Jesus in that. So, yeah.
All right, dope. 20-second snippet of So I Shine to close out the show, and that's it, y'all. All right, God bless. Peace.
Deuce.
So I gotta tell my loved ones and those close to me that we sick and we so diseased, but God sent a healer who came to